And we are live. What's good, Josh? Your man, DL Saint. Welcome. I really want to know podcast, man. Happy New Year. How y'all doing out there, man? Hope you're having a good New Year. We're only 2 days in, and boy, it's already crazy out here, bro. It's already crazy, man. There's the new Orleans incident. Crazy stuff, man. We're not gonna talk about that tonight. We're gonna talk about that later. But crazy. Definitely, prayers go out to those who were affected. Crazy situation. And then same day, there's the Las Vegas Cybertruck fire thing. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about it. Is being reported now apparently that the person of interest who was found in the vehicle is U.S. Army Special Forces, a Green Beret. And I'm here to tell you, bro, if a Green Beret wants to make something go boom, it's going to be a very big boom. Let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Get some indeed, man. I hope you guys are doing all right out there. We're off to a crazy start, man. But here's the thing, man. Like, this sort of news is news for a reason. It's gonna make the headlines. It is what it is. This is so crazy. Don't think for a moment that this is what we deal with every single day in America. Like, it's that's not the case. It's rough out here, y'all. It's rough out here. So tomorrow we're definitely gonna talk about what happened in New Orleans. Today we're gonna talk about this Cybertruck thing, and I have something lined up, and we're gonna discuss it. But before we do, we got brother Michael in the building. What's good, fam? Happy New Year to you, bro. Always a pleasure to see you, man. I hope you are doing well. We got brother Dino Dinosaur in the building. What's good? Checking in from the UK. What's happening, brother? All the way over on the other side of the pond. Good to see you. Thanks. Appreciate you guys popping in. This is unscheduled, of course. We're in holiday season. My not so little one comes back home Sunday. She's been gone her whole winter break. She's been on the West Coast visiting her family out there. I've kind of just been home. So I'm looking forward to her coming back. Then we'll get back onto our normal schedule. In 2025, we're going to go live on Mondays and Thursdays, 5 o'clock Eastern time. There's a lot going on. Luckily, there's some good things going on my end. We'll be talking about that as we move forward in the year. It is what it is, bro. 2025. I think in America, 2025 is going to be a rough year financially for the vast majority of Americans, and for the country as a whole. We're going to see, guys. We're just waiting for the peaceful exchange of power, which, the Dems aren't going to do anything crazy. There's going to be a peaceful transition of power, and then the new administration going to get in, and bro, we're going to get to see what's going to happen. But we'll be talking about that on Thursdays. We're going to continue our Trump Thursdays, where we talk about that. We talk about politics and business and all that kind of stuff. And then on Mondays when we go live, we'll be talking about what's going on out here in the sexual marketplace, red pill stuff, manosphere stuff, dating dynamics, and whatever else we come across. So that's going to be, and then during the week, I'll be posting stuff from the car, or me walking around or whatever. I'll be posting some behind the scenes. One of the things that is going to work out for me, and for this platform in February, I have been brought into a situation where I'm going to executive produce someone's podcast. Someone wants to start a podcast, and they've come to me, and they want to bring me on to, be the executive producer, which means in the beginning, I'm going to be the executive producer, the regular producer, the director, sound mixer guy. I'm going to be wearing all those different hats. I'll be the booker. I'll be everything until we get it going. And then hopefully if we find some success early, we'll be able to bring in other people to help, take care of some of those responsibilities. But we're working on our, getting our video guy. We got a really good guy, one of the dudes in our brotherhood down here. Hopefully, we're gonna have him coming in, shooting behind the scenes footage and stuff like that. So I'll have plenty of behind the scenes footage, stuff that I'll be posting on YouTube. I'll probably get more active on Instagram, and that's pretty much all of the bandwidth I'll have for I really want to know. I'm definitely working with some friends of mine, some colleagues of mine that are still in Cali. Well, two of them are still in California. One of them's out here with me in Florida. We're going to be talking about some stuff that we started years ago. I think we might be able to bring that to life via YouTube. We were trying to sell it around Hollywood, didn't have too much success. We were on our way. We were getting some meetings set up, and then COVID hit and kind of shut us down. So we were going around trying to pitch this idea, which is a great idea. Well, I'm thinking maybe we might be able to do it on YouTube. So I'm going to be doing that a little bit. But the bulk of my time is going to be executive producing this podcast that's coming up, and building a community around that brand. I'm looking forward to it. That's what's up. He's like, what's the name of the dime? What's the dime's name, DL? I'm not working with a female, bro. I'm working with someone. We're not quite ready to announce publicly on this platform. But probably within a couple weeks, definitely by February. But yeah, it's definitely going to be fun. Like I said, I'm very excited, and I'm very honored, and I'm humbled by the opportunity to come in and help someone build something. And, it's going to be good stuff, bro. It's going to be good stuff. I'm looking forward to it. I've been sitting around. I got a magic book that I write all my ideas in. I've been sitting around, getting everything ready, doing all the pre-planning, getting all set up. So when February rolls around, we'll be able to hit the ground running. We haven't announced a date. So we officially start in February. So I'm thinking March. By March, we'll be able to do a soft launch, and then probably April, go hardcore with it and do a proper launch. So good things are happening, guys. Good things are happening. That's why you got to keep pushing forward. But that's not what we're here to talk about, man. We're here to talk about this Cybertruck thing in Las Vegas. We're going to start with a CBS report. We're going to look at, what they're reporting, what the FBI is saying, what local law enforcement is saying. And then I'm going to give my take on that. I'm not going to go crazy late on this one, guys. This is one of those things where you have to sit back and wait for all the information to come in. This just doesn't sound right. This is one of those things that make me. And here's the thing: most Americans don't understand how the U.S. military works, in particular, and most people in the military don't understand how the special forces or these tip of the spear units work. Most people in the military, they don't come across Rangers, tabbed out Rangers. They might see like their commanding officer or a battalion commander or something like that. Post commander might have a Ranger tab. The vast majority of people who serve in the United States Army has never seen a Ranger scroll. I'll give you that. When you're looking at the sapper scroll and the sniper scroll and, Ranger scrolls. Well, let me say that again. When you're looking at tabs, when you're looking at the Ranger tab, sniper tab, sapper tab, special forces tab, right? Go check out the Fat Electrician to get a breakdown on what these people do and who they are. The vast majority of folks who enlist in the United States Army never, ever come across these tip of the spear type people. They just don't, let alone actually go out on missions with them. I've been in the field with Green Berets. I've been in the field with Rangers. I've been in the field with LERP guys. So there's a different way that they get down, especially U.S. Army Green Berets. So we're going to listen to this story. And bro, I'm just, when the story broke, when I heard that this dude was allegedly the person responsible or found in the vehicle was allegedly a United States Army Green Beret who is currently serving as a Green Beret, I began to shake my head right away. Like, man, this don't sound right at all. At all. Brother Cody's in the building. Cody's King. What's up, man? Happy New Year. It's like all roads lead back to Israel. We'll see, bro, but I doubt it. I would be very, very surprised even if Mossad tried to make a move on Green Berets. It just doesn't make any sense. But again, we don't know anything. We don't know anything. And I definitely don't. I'm not a guy that's like, oh, it's the Jews' fault. You'll never hear me say that unless, of course, they do something that is actually their fault. Like what happened with the USS Liberty, that was their fault. But outside of that, and that was Israel, right? So, but yeah, man, we'll just have to wait and see. There's all sorts of speculation from people who are in this world talking about what's going on. But let me pause it right there. Let's check out this CBS report.
Las Vegas officials say they have identified the driver of the Cybertruck that exploded outside Trump International Hotel Wednesday. CBS News reporter Andres Gutierrez joins us now. Andres, what more do we know about the driver and the status of the investigation?
Well, good evening, Lindsay. At this point, the police department has positively identified the driver of that Cybertruck as 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger of Colorado Springs, Colorado. They had been waiting to make this positive ID because his body had been so badly burned in the explosion, and they had to send out DNA testing. That DNA testing came back, and this afternoon they were able to send out that notification. The cause of death, they did allude to this earlier today, is that it was ruled by suicide. They pointed out at a news conference earlier this afternoon that it was a shot that they saw that he ended up shooting himself in the head before the explosion. At this point, we know that the 37-year-old did rent the Cybertruck in Colorado and made the trip through Colorado, around New Mexico, and through Arizona before making it here to Las Vegas yesterday morning around 7:35 local time. He ended up going up and down the Las Vegas Strip before eventually ending up at the hotel. In fact, had cased the Trump Hotel. I was seen on surveillance cameras going through the valet area and then getting out before deciding about half an hour later to come back here and detonate in that vehicle.
Just right there, all that information right there so far that they put out, right? About a quarter of a way through this report. Just that little bit of information right there. Why? That's very elaborate if you're just gonna self-delete a person who is surrounded by weapons every single day, every moment of their, why? The guy is stationed in Germany. He's an SF guy in Germany. Allegedly, the guy has been in the military for 19 years. That's what's being reported by some outlets. It looks like that he got into the Army under 18 X-ray. 18 X-ray, Brother Mandrell, speak of the devil. Brother Mandrell could tell you that because he was 18 X-ray. Shout out to you, Mandrell. 18 X-ray, like you enlist, you going in to be a Green Beret. Like this, it was a special thing that they were doing. Most people, you go into the military, you go to your MOS, you do your thing, and then you go through the selection process. So you come in under a different job, a different MOS. But then they were doing this thing, 18 X-ray. They didn't do it when I was in, but later on they started doing this thing. It's like, okay, you're going in to be a Green Beret, and then you have to do all this training and all this other kind of stuff. It was crazy. Here's a guy, 19 years of experience, been on the teams. I was listening to some guys who are, SF guys, guys who know about this sort of thing. Like, yeah, this dude was probably on the teams for 10 to 15 years, something like that. We might have to get Mandrell to pop up. Like, Mandrell, let me know if you can talk, bro. We probably got to get you to come up here and talk. But it does not make sense to me. If someone wants to self-delete someone in the military, in the, tip of the spear military, they don't have to go through such crazy lengths to do it. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And the biggest thing is the fact that there was a vehicle left. So if you're going to do this thing, go out in a blaze of glory and then, go boom, boom with the car, someone with this type of experience and this type of life, think about it. This dude was in the military for 19 years, probably what he did, straight out of high school, straight out of college, went in there, 18 X-ray. He's hooah from day one. You don't think that guy knows how to properly, boom, boom stuff? Like, just make it. That's all they do. That's what they do. These guys, like the real John Rambos, this is what they do. So this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And then there's like, oh, we got to identify him through DNA. We're not even using dental records. We got to do all this other kind of stuff. Like from all accounts, this is a squared away soldier, right? The guy allegedly has a brand new kid. He's got a wife. He's got a kid. Just got here. The kid just got here, baby, in Germany. Why would he be over here doing what he allegedly did? Just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. You know, it's again, these sort of things takes time to sort out, right? It takes time to sort out, but it just doesn't make any sense. It's too loud. It's just too much going on. Why? And they're saying that he used a handgun. But, you know, word is allegedly it was a Desert Eagle, right? .50, 50 caliber handgun. Here's the thing. I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret. And Mandrell can verify this if he's listening. Green Berets, Rangers, Delta guys, they don't carry 50 caliber handguns, bro. That's only in the movies. That weapon doesn't make any sense. You don't take a 50 caliber handgun with you to go do anything. Anything. So let's get back to the story.
We're told that besides the one gun they found at the bottom of his feet there in the vehicle, there was another semi-automatic gun. Both weapons were purchased earlier this week on Monday legally in Colorado, Denver, to be specific. They also found the large fireworks mortars that some of them had detonated, others were not. The ATF pointing out that overall this setup that he had was not sophisticated. And to them, that was
not sophisticated.
Pretty striking, given that this was a Green Beret who had extensive knowledge with explosives and drones. And so they're saying that if he did want to unleash some type of terror, that he would have been able to come up with a more sophisticated way of an explosive. But that was not the case here.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I haven't watched this clip. He's absolutely correct about that, or the NTSB or whoever was talking, absolutely correct about that. If old boy wanted to bring the pain, he certainly had the experience, the expertise to do so. Right. And it's like Cody was saying, got fireworks and gasoline in the car. This is going to be your thing. Come on now. I don't want to talk about how it could be done, but think about Timothy McVeigh, a grunt, right? And mechanized, he was part of the mechanized infantry. Tim McVeigh did a lot of damage, bro. And it was right. Think about it. These guys have a lot of training. These guys know this is a dude who was on the teams, allegedly. He would know how to make a big boom if he wanted to. It's got, there was a big press conference with local law enforcement. He had his driver's license, I believe. He had military ID. He had his passport, all in the vehicle with him. Why would anyone do that? Why are you traveling with your ID and your passport? That doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, there could be some scenarios in which you're like, well, he was going to go to Vegas and then fly out. So, okay. But as a general rule, I mean, think about when I travel, if I go to a foreign country, as soon as I get into my hotel room, because I don't Airbnb, as soon as I get in my hotel room, the first thing I do is open up the safe and I put my passport in there. And any extra money that I have, US dollars, if I got a whole bunch of the local currency, I'll put whatever I'm not using in there. If I'm wearing a nice timepiece, I'll put that in there. All my valuables are going into that safe. It's the first thing I do. I take a picture of it, right? Just in case, somebody might have a key to that thing. I'm not walking around with my passport on me. This dude had all sorts of papers. And again, the Desert Eagle part. The Desert Eagle part, man. That's crazy. I don't know. I haven't read or seen anything or heard anything about the Trump thing. I don't know. That may come into play. That may not. It all become now. It's like what Kobe was saying, man. You got to wait and see what kind of narrative is going to be spun. And whoever's trying to come up with a story right away it's like, bro, we got to fix this story right now because it's not adding up. And here's the thing. Here's a guy who's actually been in the fields, been downrange. This is a guy who's been on teams. There's going to be a lot of tip of the spear individuals paying close attention to this story. And they're going to be watching. They know this man. They're going to be watching. They're sitting there consoling his wife and they're looking at his new baby. These are guys who've been in combat, probably been in firefights with this guy. They know this man. They're like, bro, what's going on here? What's going on? You know, we like this whole thing with the Cybertruck. You know, I got friends who have Teslas. Them things drive themselves. They drive themselves. There's programs on the Tesla. Like you can tell a Tesla to come and get you, bro. You can be wherever. You can just have your Tesla come pick you up and the car will drive itself to come get you. Like the cars drive themselves. So it's like, you know, hey, he's driving around casing. He's driving around casing the building. That's not how SF moves. I know this because I've been trained by them doing some stuff, like doing some stuff. It wasn't off the books or anything like that. Just doing some stuff. The one thing about Green Berets, right? The one thing about anybody who's tip of the spear, MARSOC, Rangers, SEALs, you know, PJ guys out of the Air Force, combat controllers. The one thing about these dudes, these guys that go out there on these teams, they're extremely meticulous when it comes to planning. They plan everything out. If you plan on doing something, you're not looking at it moments before you do it. Way back in the 90s when I was working with these guys, 24, 48, 72 hours, eyes on target. And you see that in the movies. So I'm not giving up any secrets or anything like that. You don't just roll up an hour or so before you're about to do something. You're there days in advance. So right there, he's riding around casing the building. That doesn't sound right. That goes against everything he was trained to do. That goes against everything this man would have done in his adult life. 19 years. And Cody's right. Like, bro, it's Boy Scouts out there could do a better job. Just watching the Jason Bourne movie, you can do a better job than what they're saying that this guy did. Now I can see if the guy was like, well, he went SF, he made it through, but he never was on the teams and he was just like cadre or something like that. But even then, they train. They might not have the hands-on application in real life, but they train, right? They train to an extremely high standard. Green Berets you gotta understand, man, like 12 dudes will insert themselves into a country and shake the country upside down and leave. That's what they do. 12 guys. Training is the only way that you're going to survive. Planning is the only way you're going to survive. And being mentally, physically fit, sharp. This doesn't sound right, guys. This doesn't sound right at all. Like not even close to sounding right.
Okay, Andres Gutierrez, thank you. Despite the FBI identifying the New Orleans attacker as an American-born U.S. citizen who grew up in Texas, President-elect Donald Trump is suggesting the incident could have been avoided with stricter immigration policies. Trump has made multiple posts about the attack on Truth Social, including on Thursday, saying in part, quote, with the Biden open borders policy, I said many times during rallies and elsewhere that radical Islamic terrorism and other forms of violent crime will become so bad in America that it will become hard to even imagine or believe. That time has come, only worse than ever imagined. CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe joins us now from West Palm Beach, Florida. So, Ed,
you know, that statement doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, I know I said I didn't want to talk about the what happened in New Orleans, but I will say this much about what happened in New Orleans. We're going to talk. You know, we'll pause that broadcast there, and we'll circle back to it tomorrow. That guy, from what little information that I've seen and I've read, because you know they dig into your past right away. That guy was a dude who just kind of fell victim to failure. He failed and he gave up. That's what it seems like to me. He failed and he gave up. And you know, we'll get into it tomorrow. There's definitely backstory. This guy was out there trying to do what's right. Apparently the guy has allegedly been married a couple times and divorced twice. He was recently, at the back end of a divorce. He tried to get some businesses off the ground. He was way behind in his mortgage, about to lose his home, buried in debt, buried in credit card debt. Sounds to me that he was at the end of his rope. And you guys know, if a man gets to that point, he's at the end of his rope. There's not a whole lot of help out there for him. There's not a lot of people going to come and help you out. We're going to get into this tomorrow, and this is why dudes, man, this is why you got to have a team. You got to have a clique. You got to have a community. You're going to need help at some point, as a man, you're going to need some help. And it's good to have a brotherhood around you that can help you when you get to these points, and not to sit there and just tell you everything's going to be all right. No, to sit there and help you work through the situation. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. But this SF thing, man, this SF thing, it's just one of those things, bro. This dude knew how and knows how to plan. This just doesn't make any sense. Why come all the way back to America if you're going to delete yourself? He started off in Colorado Springs, and I was in the breakdown, came all the way down from Colorado Springs to Las Vegas, and he's picking up weapons and material along the way. He's driving a Tesla. He rents this thing. It just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. You're going to do all this, but you're not going to leave a video or leave a note or something like that. The New Orleans guy, he left videos explaining what he was doing and why, kind of. Those videos are out there. But this dude, he's not going to leave any notes. I mean, what could have been so wrong in his life that he decided that he wants to do this and go out in a blaze of glory? It doesn't make any sense. And there's going to be a ton of tinfoil hat conspiracy stuff that's going to come out there, tons of it, but you have to sit back and watch. Now, no matter what's going to happen, no matter how this is going to go down, his brothers, those other Green Berets, they're going to figure out what happened. Trust and believe the dudes in his unit, and I'm talking about from the highest part of his leadership structure all the way down to these dudes on the teams. They're going to figure this out. And if it is a false flag, if it is some effery going on within our government, or one of our allies are out here making moves on us, or one of our enemies are out here making moves, and they took this man's life, it's going to be hell to pay. And you ain't going to be able to stop them. Now you're dealing with tip of spear dudes. Now you're dealing with people who can just make things happen. These guys, you don't know who he worked with. Man, he could have been on missions with Delta. Just like I was just a paratrooper and I'm on missions with Green Berets. I'm on missions with Rangers. Who are the Green Berets going out on missions with? Right? Who are they working with? Who do they know? They're getting whatever information they need. There's no such thing as classified. These guys are going to get what they need. If civilian law enforcement is trying to do something and there's some effery going on, the military dudes are going to get to the bottom of it. The military dudes will find out what's going on, and they will deal with it in their way if they have to. I just don't see this. Just don't make any sense. The type of weapon, gas, fireworks, the paperwork he had on him, allegedly, all this stuff, because they said that he deleted himself. I mean, think about that. You got a 50 caliber, you got a 50 caliber pistol. And they're saying, well, we know this is the type of weapon he used because we found the weapon at his feet. Wow, the weapon wouldn't be there. I don't think. I was just watching some guys who were talking about this, and it makes a lot of sense. You do yourself in with a pistol this big, with the recoil on it. I don't know if you guys ever fired a Desert Eagle. I don't know if you guys ever picked one up. But man, those things are heavy, man. Those things are so heavy that the weapon is designed that energy comes out when you have that muzzle flash, they design it to where the muzzle flash is routed through these two little holes near the front of the weapon. That helps you balance the weapon. So it's a counter to the kick. It kicks so much that they had to design it to where that muzzle flash is forced out through these small little holes that would force the weapon back down to help you kind of stabilize the thing. Don't take my word for it, man. Look it up. Go out here and just go on YouTube and look at 50 cals, Desert Eagles, and watch people shoot these things. So if you have this thing right here, you pull the trigger immediately, right? That round is going to do its job. You're going to be immediately going to go limp. That weapon is jumping out of your hand. It's going that way. It's not going to be right here, the base of your feet, man. It's going to be on the other side of the vehicle. Right? Here's the steering wheel. Here you are. Windows right here. You do this. Boom. That thing is going to jump to the other side of the vehicle. It's going to be on that side somewhere, maybe on the floor, the passenger side front, or maybe it'll make its way into the back, but it's not going to be right here. Whatever happened here, if someone's trying to set some crazy narrative, good. And I'm not CSI, but even I know these look at that like, man, that don't seem right. And the biggest thing of all, man, Green Berets don't run around with Desert Eagles. The weapon don't make that doesn't make any sense. They know how to use, they know what to use and how to use weapons. They're not going to do it. I've never seen a Green Beret talking about, hey man, I'm about to buy a Desert Eagle. Never. I've never been on a range and seen somebody with a 50 caliber or some really big 44 or some of these crazy caliber handguns. And if you do, it's a novelty. It's always some rich dude who has it. Hey, look what I got. And it's like, look at this hand cannon. Like, bro, that's not practical at all. Like, first of all, how do you get those rounds? If you talking about taking something like that into combat with you, how do you get those rounds? Like, it's so many things wrong with that. Green Berets, they don't do that. They don't do that. Like I said, I've been to the range. I've seen people pull out these hand cannons. And like I said, it's a novelty. And the bullets alone cost so much money. Like, why? Like, why? Do you want to fire it? No, I don't. Doesn't make any sense to me. It's got all these different kind of safeties and mechanisms. Like, bro, it's not even fun to fire, bro. Like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm cool. I'll stick with my M14. Thank you very much. I'll stick with my M16. Thank you very much. I'll stick with my AK-47, my shotgun, right? My Creedmoor, my 6.5 Creedmoor. I'll stick with these. Right? The highest caliber that I got a 357 and I have a 45. And that's more than enough for me. I like the knockdown power of the 45, but my Glock is a single stack, can't hold a whole lot of ammo in there. And then the 357, I like revolvers. They're going to work every time. It's a revolver. So that's why I have them. But if I'm going on a mission, if I'm going to do something and come right back, I'm taking the 40 millimeter. I'm taking the 9 millimeter. I'm not taking the 357. Just not doing it. Just doesn't make any sense. Brother Penny in the building. What's good, fam? Happy New Year, bro. Happy New Year. Good to see you. We're going to be back on track here this coming Monday. We'll be back on track. We're going to go Monday and Thursdays, 5 p.m. right here. We're going to go live, and then during the week, we'll just be posting stuff, whatever I find. But yeah, like I announced it today, bro. I have been asked to help someone set up their podcast and build a community. I haven't announced who it is yet, but you guys will be happy for me when we finally do announce. And I'm so grateful, man. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We're going to do some good things. Yeah. Yeah, I just can't wait. Hopefully we'll be able to make the official announcement here within a couple of weeks. And then again, we're going to officially start in February, but I've already begun the process. And then I'm thinking by March, we should have the first proper interview up. We'll definitely have some stuff up in the meantime, some B-roll kind of stuff, just us out here doing whatever. But it's going to be proper, guys. It is going to be proper. But yeah, this thing with the Green Beret, man, we're just going to have to wait and see what the official story is going to be. But right now, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. Again, they've reported that this is a Green Beret, a real Green Beret, a guy who's been on the teams 19 years in the United States Army, scheduled, stationed in Germany. He said he's with the 10th group, stationed in Germany. His family, his wife, and his new kid is got a baby in Germany right now. And he's over here. And he wants to delete himself? I don't understand why. What could have possibly happened to him in his career, in his life, to make him come over here to America and do something like that? You just want to delete yourself. There's plenty of opportunity, ample opportunity to do it wherever you are. Ample opportunity. So why come all the way back? Why do all this stuff? What's the deal with the vehicle? And I'm gonna make the vehicle go boom. Dude, if this guy, seriously, guys, if this dude wanted to make a Tesla Cybertruck go boom, it wouldn't be nothing left of that truck. Nothing. Wouldn't be nothing left of that truck. They know how to get it done. And then as far as planning goes, it just doesn't seem to be any real planning there. Logistically, just didn't make sense. You're in a vehicle that's definitely tracking you. You know you're being tracked. How are you going about doing this thing? You're going through a few states. You go from Colorado to Nevada. You're stopping in these different cities. You're doing random stuff. You're getting weapons. You're getting ammo. You're getting fireworks. You're getting gas. None of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. Mandrill, hey, Mandrill, can you come up, bro? Mandrill, can you come up, man? I'll drop the link if you can get up here, bro. It does not pass the smell test. Oh, so the word is he was getting a divorce. Okay. 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 Let me drop this link for Mandrill, guys. I want to hear what Mandrill has to say, and you guys want to hear this as well. This link right here is for Mandrill, guys. So yeah, I'm just gonna, and as soon as Mandrill jumps up here, I'm gonna remove that. But the link is for Mandrill. I really want to hear it, man. I want to hear from another 18 X-ray, bro. This is crazy, man. Even still, if his life is wrecked, he's losing his high school sweetheart, the baby and everything, and he's going through a divorce, right? I can see the trauma behind that. I can see, the downside of that. I can see that. But even still, he would plan it out better. It's just one of those things, bro. Like, what does Trump has to do? Like Trump Towers, what does that have to do with anything? You know what I mean? Both guys getting a divorce, both rented from the same company. They're making a lot out about the Toro thing. Everyone these days uses Toro, bro. For whatever reason, that's what people are doing. And people are using Airbnbs, right? For whatever reason. Someone like me, I'm going to rent from like Avis or Budget or whatever car or rental place I can find. And I'm going to stay at a hotel, but I'm an old school. I'm an old dude. I'm one of these old guys, but I'm one of these old guys. So it's crazy. Mandrill, you got the link, right? I'm about to remove the link. Mandrill. I'm pretty sure you got it. Delete that comment. So Mandrill said, send it again. Come on, man. What's wrong with you? Get it together, Airborne. What's wrong with you, bro? There it is. What's wrong with you, bro? Like, send it again. Get it together, Airborne. I'm trying to do something. Right. Nobody has a point. Like, yeah, man, getting divorced is gonna make you, make, stupid little bombs or whatever. Like, Mandrill, first of all, man, thanks for coming through. Let's give you
Jesus Christ, be a man. Push it down.
Wrong button.
Do it.
Man, that girl gave me a strike, man. Can you believe that? I'm still fighting that copyright strike.
That's messed up. Yeah, I saw your video about that too. I don't know why. There was nothing.
You know why?
No.
You know why she did it. She was like, "Oh, I got to remove this. I got to scrub this from the internet. That's gonna mess up my money." She was saying, she revealed her true self, and not, you know, and just failed to take account that her guys are all simpletons and they're all sending her money. Like, oh, if they find this out, they might go away. And that's why she did what she did. But I got to do one more. I filed an appeal. Took me about 10 minutes or so to get everything ready and click all the boxes and type it in there. And in the time it took for me to refresh the screen, the denial came through. That's how fast.
Look, man. For some reason. Jesus. No one looked at that.
Exactly.
No one looked at it. No one had tried to examine it. It was just, that's BS.
Exactly. So there's one more. There's one more way that I could get it done. And that's when you actually have to email the humans in charge of it. And I'm gonna get that done. I'm gonna do that. They're gonna look at it and they're gonna like, yep, you're right, you know, and they're gonna restore it. But by then, I mean, she's cool. She was able to get it off for, almost a month or so. By the time this is all over, it'll be over a month. Mission accomplished. But anyway, that's another story for another day, man. Happy New Year, bro. How you doing?
Yeah, but doing all right, man. I'm working on things like range rules and packing lists for a project that you're aware of. So yes. I've actually started putting legwork and work into that. So
yeah, we're gonna lock in a date and get that set up, man. Everyone's really excited on this end, bro.
Okay, yeah. I'll deliver then. Don't worry.
Cool. I know you will.
Like I said, packing list for everybody, you know what I'm saying, and range rules, stuff like that. So we can put that out just so people will be prepared. That's all.
Right. So what happened here, man? So you got a guy allegedly, one of your brothers, man, he's SF like you, 18 X-ray like you, 19 years, they say, right? United States Army, no other MOSs outside of that world, right? This is who we're talking about. So how long, I mean, if you got someone who's 18 X-ray like you, 19 years in, can you explain that to us, man? How would that work? Like, is it possible to go 18, 19 years and never been in the field, never been in the teams, or would someone like that have been on the teams, and what kind of experience would they have in that time frame and stuff like that?
This guy was, though. Like he's a team sergeant. You know what I'm saying? As a Fox, as an 18 Fox. You know what I'm saying? Which is a Special Forces Intel sergeant. He's a team sergeant as an Intel sergeant. So it's like, okay, bro, you 18 and a half, 19 years in, and now you decide to nut up? It doesn't pass the smell test. It doesn't. It don't pass the smell test for me. No.
So would he have experience in explosives?
We're all cross-trained in demolitions. Now, if he's an engineer sergeant and he did that, then he did it that he wasn't trying to hurt anybody. As a Green Beret, he calls that explosion that way. He's not trying to hurt anybody, because here's what we know. Explosions are going to go in the direction because they're going to take the path of least resistance. Okay? So that's why even people from Al-Qaeda and ISIS, when they bury bombs, they do enough just to cover it up to keep you from seeing it, because you don't want the explosion to go into the ground or go in the wrong direction. It's just enough to cover it up. So if you're driving down the road or whatever, you can't, you don't spot it. You don't spot it quick because you want it to come out, up and out. If a car's going to run over it, you know what I'm saying? But this guy, the explosion just went up. You know full well that you don't put it in the bed of a Cybertruck.
Just because the way it's designed.
The way, exactly. You look at it and tell, all right, the bed ain't the best place. You know, just looking at it.
Because it comes down kind of like this. All that energy is going to come up.
Thank you. It's physics.
And guys, I'm just a regular old, airborne guy. Even I know what he's talking about. Like, yeah, it's basic physics.
Right. It's just like, no, he did that all wrong. So I'm just like, nah, whoa, wait, hold on. This don't smell right. Okay, and then there's this thing where it's a Cybertruck. It's made by Tesla. Who owns Tesla?
It's like Elon
Musk. What's he doing these days? Working for Trump.
He's the vice president. I mean, he is the co-president. He's the co-president.
Yeah, right. And then it was this explosion happened right outside of one of Trump's hotels. So this is a clear-cut message to someone, well, those two in particular. But yeah, that's what it is, DL. Come on. Don't think too hard. It's right there in your face.
Yeah, so why would the 18 Fox you think is it possible, like, okay, this guy, the rug's been pulled from under him, his wife is like, all right, I done banged whoever, I'm leaving you, I'm taking the baby. Would that be enough?
No. No, that wouldn't be enough. I'm like, okay, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, and then they're saying he's doing it on behalf of ISIS, who happens to be our mortal enemies.
Well, that was another dude. That was the guy in New Orleans that had the ISIS flag.
The ISIS flag,
yeah, that was New Orleans with the
but
truck
they're
and
saying
everything.
These two are connected now.
Well, because they said they were connected because they both were at Fort Bragg. So I guess me and you connected because you were at Fort Bragg. And I was
right,
at Fort Bragg.
right. And never mind the fact that how huge Fort Bragg is.
People don't understand that.
You can drive a whole hour and a half from and still be on Fort Bragg.
Yeah. Going all the way out to McCall somewhere.
Right, exactly. You get out there with them drop zones or where the Delta compound is and all that. By the
wait, man, Joe, there's no Delta compound. What are you talking about? That doesn't exist.
I can take you there right now.
I've been there.
You're right. It doesn't exist, though.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. But yeah, it's just like, hey, people don't understand how big Fort Bragg is, how many people are there. Like, they say it's in Fayetteville, but I used to joke and say, okay, no, Fayetteville is in Fort Bragg.
Yeah, Fayetteville is in Fort Bragg.
Bragg is that big. Like the main interstate goes straight through Fort Bragg.
Yep. And those ranges, man, it's so many ranges and they're so far away. Like, people don't understand how big you could live on Fort Bragg as like a vagrant, and probably no one would probably find you.
No one will know. Nobody, unless they're looking for you.
Like, or they stumble across you. Like, they're out there doing their thing. They stumble across you. That's the only way. And they'll think you're part of the training mission. Like, oh, that must be Op 4. And they getting quiet and watching you walk by.
Somebody running Robin Sage.
Right.
That's what they're gonna be looking.
The old way. The old way. Like, they let them wear civilians now.
Yeah, man. This is wild to me, because we got this whole shitstorm going on in the SF community in the back end that people don't see. It is a shitstorm. Thank you, Tim Kennedy. I'm sorry. Fuck you, Tim Kennedy.
For real? Is that bad?
Oh, DOJ is involved now.
Wow. Well, how does that work? DOJ and the military, that's...
Oh, they're in tandem. They're like, no, let's go ahead and look into this. Both of us. It's like that, to where you got those two organizations are like, yeah, why don't we, here's our notes. Where are yours? Thank you. Let's compare these.
Yeah, that's a
let's
cluster.
Go to work.
Yeah, that's a cluster right there. That's never going to work. It's too much. You're not classified, and this is above your level. And and they're not trying. They know they're adversarial. Man, that's crazy. Cody might have a point here, man. What are the chances there could have been a body swap?
There could have been, but like that's a big conspiracy theory. But I mean, okay, one thing I do know is this guy was having family problems. The Beret was. And there's only, we joke around, but it's the truth. There's less than a handful of ways that a Green Beret gets in trouble. Booze, money, women. Yep. That's it. You're not going to find a Beret getting in trouble for any other reason. And most of the time, it ain't going to be because of money or booze. If he get caught getting in trouble for booze, it was an accident. Hey, we slipped up that one time.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're normally more responsible than that. You know, normally. You catch Big Army out there, though? Somebody from Big Army, though? Oh, yeah, they sloppy.
Oh, bro, I can tell you stories. You guys, I got so
many stories. Big Army, yeah, they sloppy.
Oh, man. Big Army, like Airborne Army, is extremely sloppy, bro. Like, what are y'all doing? Man, we went on a mission, a regular training op, company-sized training op. We were getting ready for the evals or whatever. So people who don't normally go to the field were in the field with us. You know, every year you got to take the whole company out. One of these young privates, man, he came out with a duffel bag full of booze, bro. Duffel bag full of booze. He thought it'd be cool. Look what I brought. You can hear the bottles clanking as he's like coming in. So we had to set up the big tents and everything, bro. And man, like by the time they was done with him, bro, his rank was EIOU1. They busted him all the way down, bro. It ain't like he had much to go with anyway. They took all that. They took all that away from him.
Oh man, yeah. This one though, I don't buy it. I don't buy it because one thing that the enemy does, and what they were famous for, was they kidnap. They busted someone's house, take the family. Oh, what's up, Miss AKA lady?
What's good? Let's show some love real quick. We got Miss AKA lady in the building, y'all. Happy New Year, sis.
Yeah. They come to your house, they hold your family hostage and make the dude go out there with a tac vest on, right? Tac vest, for people don't know, is a suicide vest, basically. Self-deletion vest.
Yeah, well, there you go. We'll get away with a couple of them.
Right. That's what it is. And then they'll claim that they'll let your family live if you go do this, right? That might have been going on here. I don't know.
But how can you get that with a guy on the teams? What is it you holding over him? He's gonna want to do something like that. That's the part I don't get.
Don't know. Other than family.
Because what could he be looking at? Could this guy? Okay, let's just speculate for a moment. Could this guy have been someone else's asset? He was getting money, giving away not any real intel, but now that we want the real intel, or we're gonna give them this. And then he decided, like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and just go out in a blaze of glory. You think something like that could have happened?
It could have been, it could have been, but it could have been any number of things. But I don't see him being radicalized. Is my point.
No,
I don't see it. No, how long was he in? 19 years.
19 years.
There's no way. From me, there's no way you're a beret for 19 years and now you get radicalized and do something like this
with that group. I mean, right. Of all the organizations on the planet, I mean, I could see after that, you know what, maybe he goes over to the white supremacist movement. Maybe he goes over and goes radical that way. That would make sense, but you're still not going to go out like that. You're still not going to do what you did. I don't see berets. I can see him become extreme patriot kind of thing that way.
Yeah, but plus he and his wife were, I think they were anti-Trumpers or whatever.
Oh,
so there's some anti-Trumpers, which, I mean, fair enough. If that's what you believe in, that's what you believe in. Cool, have your beliefs, but that doesn't warrant the action.
That doesn't change those missions you've been on either. Yeah, how does that? Yeah, how does that? You've been downrange for real. Like you've been in situations where you can't even talk about. And who cares who the commander in chief is? That doesn't change your mission.
Because when I was in the Army, I was apolitical as a guy. I didn't care.
Hey, did it do you any good to be, no, one way or the other? No,
because I came in under the Bush administration. Right. Obama came in later, and I was like, "Oh God." That's where I was with. It's like, "Oh God, this guy." But
this guy. So it was Obama who sent you to Africa. That's why you don't like Obeezy. Now I'm with you.
Look, man. Yeah, I mean, just yeah, man. And then the ridiculous rules and stuff. What? Okay, we'll get into that conversation one of these days. Man.
Yeah, one of these days, man. When we see each other, we'll get into that.
Yeah, when we see each other, I'll tell you all about that.
Because that's insane. I tell people all the time, they're like, bro, if I'm in command, there's only one rule of engagement, man. Get home safely. What are the rules of engagement? Hey, whatever y'all feel y'all need to do. Like, we'll clean it up later.
But that's why a lot of military personnel like Trump, that was his thing.
Mm.
Hey, handle it. How? You're the experts. What?
Like, what?
Hey, everybody's like, what?
How? We get the keys?
Yeah, you get the keys. Here you go. For real? Thank you. And then notice, weeks later, no more ISIS.
No more nothing.
No more nothing. Business was handled.
Now that's something that I can't. You're telling me because you were there. I take your word for it, bro. Because I know how rules of engagement and these crazy mission parameters come down. It's like, bro, you can't even do. It's not like they tie one hand behind your back. They're like, bro, they take all your weapons, they put your hands in your pockets, and then they tie you up and send you in there. Like, bro, we can't get this thing done under these conditions. So I'm hearing you, bro. We got Scam Likely in the building, Dusto in the building.
Yeah, my thing is, The explosion did it for me. I was like, no, you weren't. Really? I was like, really? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and look, and Cody's right. Like highly, I'm with Cody, man. I doubt very seriously that he would do something like this over who won the presidency in America. It doesn't matter with 19 years in. It doesn't. He wouldn't off himself over that, over the chick and Trump. Nah, it had to be something else.
He
Had to be
definitely
something.
wanted. Yeah, he. I was like, and I found out. I think he was the Echo, 18 Echo. I was like, he damn sure wasn't a Charlie doing that for sure. He couldn't have been a Charlie, and that's the job he did as a Charlie. No way.
And people don't know what it is. Look it up. You're trying to figure this is all under the special forces stuff. You could type this stuff in, man. 18 Echo, 18 Foxtrot, 18 Charlie. Y'all got deltas?
Yeah, medical sergeant.
Type it all in.
Remember the interview, and I was telling you there's one that's really long trek from it's the deltas. Yearly, because for me it was like 2 years, right? And that was a Bravo, which is weapon sergeant. Man, those deltas, you're looking about 3.5 years.
Super doc
to be a Green Beret. You're looking at about 3.5 years taking that trek. And for God help you if you got a tough language, like you want to go to first group or something, and you got an Asian language.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, you're looking at about 4.5 years.
Yeah, Mandarin, Cantonese, and Farsi. Like, bro, we'll see you in 10 years.
Right. You're talking about, and people ask you all the time, are the Navy SEALs better than the Green Beret? No. At what? That's the question.
Different mission. They're
mission. At what? What's the question?
It's like the fat. Yeah, it's like what the fat electrician says. They're all the best at what they do.
Right. Now you saw what happened in Afghanistan when they sent the SEALs there. Shit storm after shit storm after shit storm after shit storm, to the point where they had to get pulled out of Afghanistan and say, y'all can't come back. Y'all, that ain't y'all thing. But then when the Somali pirates started acting up in the Horn and everywhere else in Africa, okay, this top-notch performance, fellas. Round of applause. Look at what happens when you put them in a position to do what they're trained to do. They're on the water. Yep. That's what SEALs should be. You know what I'm saying? Look at the. You know what I'm saying? Look at what happens. You let them do what they're supposed to do.
Was it Panama or was it Grenada? Well, it was both. In Panama, they gave was it I don't know if it was the Green Berets or the SEALs the mission to take out Noriega's plane. I think it was the SEALs, and that went sideways quick.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like this, and the SEALs said it when it was all said and done. Like, that's not a SEAL mission. That's a Ranger mission. Send the Rangers in there and let them take care of that. That's what they do. And the SEALs they accomplished the mission, but at heavy losses, right?
Just like people looking at the Bin Laden raid. Yeah, they got him, but how long did it take you? All of us, the Braves, are like, how long did it take y'all to do that? 45, 47 minutes? Like, what the hell took y'all so long? There's some things that SEALs are really, really good at, like maritime stuff. Fair enough. Yes, I'm a Beret, and I wasn't on a dive team. I didn't want to be on a dive team because swimming ain't my thing. I prefer jumping out of airplanes, so I was on a Halo team. Not lucky enough, I got a slot. Lucky enough. But yeah, y'all handle that water, SEALs. You're fantastic at it.
There are people out there. When people ask me about it, I'm like, look, I think it was a Green Beret who said this. He's like, if you're dealing with something anywhere near water, you want to send the SEALs in to deal with that. But if it's in water, the world is made of water pretty much. But in those places that are landlocked, right, for whatever the mission is, you might want to send the Rangers, you might want to send MARSOC, you might want to send not you guys. You guys do something completely different. Like, it's really hard to send Green Berets in. But
we can do all that. But the thing is, there's some stuff that ain't our bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? Can we do it? Yes. Do we know how to do it? Yes. Are we good at it? Yes. But like, if you want direct assault stuff, like hostage search and rescue, no, send Delta. That's their bread and butter. Hostage search and rescue, send Delta. They're the best at that. You know what I'm saying? Maritime stuff, yeah, send the SEALs. that's what they do. I mean, that's what they train on. We're trained on it, and we train often, but nowhere near as much as they do on maritime stuff.
Like they live in the water.
Yeah, that's their thing. Let them do
Let
that.
them-
And when you put them in the water, SEALs do what SEALs do best. They're in and out of there, clean cut. But you put them on land where we are, it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right. They don't call them frogmen for a reason.
Right.
If
You don't belong on the land, man. Get it out.
right.
Look at Operation Red Wings. That should tell you.
And which one was that?
Lone Survivor, that movie. But that's a mission that Delta turned down. They're like, no, it's a loser. What? No, we're not doing that. What? It's a loser. That's a suicide. Like, well, no. You know what I'm saying? Like in the SEALs, the Marines like, all right, we might try it. Let's sit down and plan. But then they came in and big the Marines out of it. And so they're like, no, we'll take it. Marines like, well, okay.
Right. When Marsoc turns down a mission, yeah.
When Marsoc and Delta Force and SEAL Team 6 turn down a mission, but you clowns want to go?
You don't want that mission.
And who had to dig him? Who had to pull him out?
Y'all did.
The Berets.
Yep. We had to come in and get him.
Yep.
Had to come in and get him. We got Sister Jody in the building. Happy New Year, sis. Good to see you. Did you see this message from my brother Dino Dinosaur? And I mean, it's highlighted there, and he's talking about in Afghanistan, his key focus of the mission was to dismantle a network of Taliban aligned forces who had been detonating car bombs in and around Kabul in an effort to destabilize the government. And I think that's making reference to the Green Beret we're talking about, the Vegas guy. If that's the case, again, why would he align himself with those dudes?
How do you get rid of it? Yeah, that's what I want to know. Like, what? Okay, there's more to this. Or was it even him?
So how much is this story going to change? Because to me, this does scream this some sort of cover. Now, I don't know if it's nefarious. This is a cover up for something else. I don't understand that. But what do you think is going to happen? And do you think the narrative is going to change here in the next 72 hours?
Probably, because it doesn't add up. Was it because I'm sitting here asking, was it even him now? No, I'm going to conspiracy theory land. Was it even really him?
Right. Who did they pull out of that vehicle?
Exactly. And if it was that kind of explosion, like how did you watch that explosion like that? 'Cause it doesn't make any sense.
Right. And the time and day that they did it, there's no targets. There's nothing there. Like, what are you doing? What were you trying to hit? If you were trying to hit anything, doesn't make sense.
You just, I mean, no. And then what was in it? It was like, no, all you use. Look at what you used.
Right. Those fireworks. Like, open up, get the black powder out. Like, you can. This is a guy who knows how to put together devices. Like, what do you just? I'm just gonna leave some bottle rockets and some firecrackers back there and put some gasoline. That's gonna go boom.
And fireworks wouldn't be my thing of choice either.
Right. We don't want to say what to use, but there's plenty of things in the house right now that you could use. It's gonna be right. So we're not gonna talk about that. Plenty of stuff.
I mean, and then don't let me go to Home Depot.
Boy. I mean, don't go to one of those, janitorial places that specializes in janitorial stuff. Come on now.
And then he's in Vegas. I think guns are legal there. Go to a gun store and like, bro, you know what stuff you're about to die anyway. What's the problem?
Yeah, and Cody's saying publicity stunt to try to stop, Trump from, the peaceful transfer of power. That's not a thing, bro. And if that were the case, they would do it closer to DC. That's not a thing. If you want to do something like that, you want to scare the people where they are. And even if they did, they would just move it somewhere else. That's not a thing. I don't understand this. Like, we're gonna have to wait and see. That's the thing. We're gonna have to wait and see exactly what happened.
Don't focus on him, really, but at the same time, we've known that Al Qaeda is planning. Al Qaeda and ISIS are planning on attacking the U.S. this year. We know that there's going to be several of them. They're planning attacks on the U.S. and the Europe.
Canada? Oh, Europe.
Yeah, they don't care about Canada. No one cares about Canada. But they've been planning attacks on both of us, and with our southern border being wide open for 4 years, they've got a few thousand people here now. A lot of them are here legally. Like getting them over here legally is their favorite thing to do because they can get legal passports.
Yeah, the vast majority of them are here. If I'm making up a number, I would say at least 80% of them are here legally. If I'm gonna make up a number,
because we only know of 1,800 of them. Like by name and face, they're on the terrorist watch list, and of course, Washington knew about these people coming in through the southern border. And you know what Biden said? Yeah,
he don't know he said that though. That's the thing. He thought he was saying something else. He thought he was saying something else.
Right.
Like he didn't know.
You got an open border and you're not expecting terrorist attacks?
Hey, bro. I mean, and it is what it is. With everything else that's going to be going on in America, bro, I'm definitely want to bring you back because I'm going to be talking about what I think is going to happen financially here. You know, you see the layoffs here. There's no more hiding the numbers. You know, you look at the interest rates haven't gone down. So you got these corporations out here who are like, they're not going to be able to, you know, reservice their debt. You know, I'm down here in Florida. I was looking like, let me find me a little something on the side to kind of take care of some things. Couldn't get hired. Couldn't get hired by Lowe's. Couldn't get hired by Target. Couldn't get hired by anybody, bro. Lowe's. And I'm a vet.
And you're looking at something just to pass time, basically.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I got to do something or I'm going to be sleeping half the day. I got to do more than just this. And I couldn't get past the AI, which is something I want to talk about. Back in the day, you go in, you apply somewhere, you get an interview, you crush the interview, especially for these type of jobs, you're on right away. But you can't now, you have to go through a couple layers of AI before you get to a human. And that's going to be a serious factor moving forward for people trying to find work. Now, I'm sure if I wanted to, I could probably find something in the kitchen somewhere, like somebody's restaurant, but that's the kind of work. I'd rather go back to the field than do that.
I'm telling you.
But
I'm telling you. I'd rather get back in the army.
For real, than do that. Yeah. And Cody had a point here. Like it's like they're gonna say it was an Iranian spy, and you know what comes next. They don't even need that right now, bro. Like
Iran's doing enough. Iran's kicking up enough dust already by themselves to where they don't need this as an excuse. They really don't.
It's automatic response. You see what's going on with Yemen. You know, there's the reports of the friendly fire event with knocking down an F-18, like a Navy vessel shot down an F-18.
Yeah.
If anything, they're trying to keep from pulling the trigger. We know that wasn't friendly fire.
Exactly.
So but
we really don't even need an excuse to do something to Iran now. We really don't. Like we have as much as we need, more than enough reasons.
Yep. And
we all knew it too. We all knew that this was going to happen. We all knew Iran was going to do the second we took out Saddam. And I was in basic training when that happened. I knew that because they were telling us. Like that's what the cadre would tell us. Yep. If we don't stay there, Iran's going to come in and just take all that. I was like, really? And then when I got over there myself, deployed over there, it's like, oh, this is what they're talking about. Because we'll catch people from Iran, or we'll catch people from Iran all over the place. And then we interrogate people from, say, Syria and other places like that. And then we interrogate them and they tell us, and like all things pointing to Iran. Everything. All arrows pointing to Iran. You know what I mean? And
from Hamas to the Islamic Brotherhood or whatever to what's going on in Yemen with the Houthis, all that Iran.
Yep. They're funding everything too. They really are. They got some help from a couple of places, but no, Iran really are making. While Biden was in office, they were making the moves on the chessboard. But now Trump's coming in. That's why he's on the board. Yep. And everybody's afraid to move now because they don't know what he's going to do.
I mean, that's what happens when you put, you put somebody who's, like you can't put this person in a box and you know that he's not making the call. The fact that their intelligence, I would say that, now here's a whole other thing, but all these other countries, like you look at Russia, you look at North Korea, North Korea, the South Koreans are our friends. You look at North Korea, you look at China, you look at Russia, you look at Iran. They're like, all right, this dude's going to come in here and he's going to give the military carte blanche. He's going to give them the keys again, let them do whatever they want to do. This is a problem that we can't use the political BS to slow it down if he does that. If he gives hey, Pentagon, go do what you got to do. I want these guys to go away. You can forget about Iran.
Yep. Because ISIS was an issue for a long time. But then when he came in and said, hey, You guys are the experts. Do what you do. We can do whatever we want to do. Handle it. Say less. You know what I'm saying? And that's when everything just kind of like, because we went to work.
That's what y'all do.
You got a bunch of animals, man, salivating, ready for someone to take that chain off of us. And the chain finally came off. Hell yeah.
Yeah, how you gonna get how we gonna get that dog back on the leash? I don't know.
That's the problem right there.
Gotta let them finish eating up them people. But
right.
two things I want to ask you about, and we'll wrap this up. The last thing we're gonna talk about is Cody's question. We're gonna come back to this, but he was talking about South Korea. We're gonna end with that. But what is your take on what happened in Syria, man? Did you see that coming? I sure as hell didn't.
What, Syria?
Yeah, when Assad fell, like when they just, I didn't see that coming.
I did. And they've been protests out there. For a while. That was, protests going on over there for a while. But now we see the problem is now they're trying to get him back over there because he was like the Saddam Hussein of that area. Saddam Hussein kept that whole area in the Middle East in check. He was kind of the big brother saying, "Hey, stop that. Hey, or sit down." Saddam was kind of that guy. And Assad was like that for that area. So it's
was so Russia being weakened by Ukraine, did that have a big hand in that or no? Because I was thinking it was the Russians that was helping Assad keep that.
Was.
Okay,
that's why he went to Moscow once he left Syria. They've been begging for a long, but bottom line is he was a person where it wasn't just us, and that was coming. That was a long time coming. Cody's right. Syria was a thing for a long time because take everyone from BRICS, right? It's like a mafia movie. You're out, Tom. So it was them who kind of did that. We didn't really have much to do with that. Like he became a liability. Like you're out, Tom.
Like you got to go, bro.
You gotta go. You're right. I got this thing over here in Ukraine going on. I got the North Koreans. They can't stop beating off. But, so I got to deal with that. But just 1 minute on that. This is what happens when you take people from the Truman Show and put them in the real world. And now that they see the real internet and real soldiers showing them actual adult content.
Ain't nobody going on patrol tonight. Where them boys at?
Right. Now the problem is, what are you gonna do when they get back to North Korea?
They can't come back. You got to put them in their own region.
You gotta kill most of them.
They can't come back. They cannot come back.
You can't come back and tell the North Koreans this is how the rest of the world is.
Hey, they got food. They over there. They
got food, man. Look, they got this internet. The internet is different over there. Over there, man, they can watch whatever they want.
They got energy drinks.
Right. Look, that's why North Korea is no competition for the U.S. People say, but they got nukes. So what? They have soldiers who've never been anywhere else and don't know anything else. They have no combat experience at all, ever.
At all.
So,
and trying to get combat experience in this type of war, when you got trenches and drones, I wouldn't want to be in this. I would not want to be in this type of conflict, bro. Like
America has 20 consecutive years of nonstop combat experience and evolution.
Yeah, the rest of the world.
Just our experience alone. Stop playing. Look at the UK. People laughed at the United States for spending so much money on defense, right? But now you look at the UK Army. This is including Her Majesty's SAS. They are barely made the mark of a tier 2 army.
Well, they brought back the SBS. They finally brought back the Special Boat Service. I'm just saying. They tried. They tried.
They barely made a tier 2 army. And it's like, that's including the SAS. Now, the SAS are badasses, yes, but that ain't the whole army. The bottom line is, America has been funding everyone else's war for a long time. Now the cat's out of the bag on that. America's been billed for it, for the UK and all of our allies. We've been footing the bill we've been giving them supplies and ammunition and sending us Green Berets in to help them out. They're also sending Delta. And now Trump talking about sending Delta down to Mexico. Okay.
Man, that's a bad idea. Me and you got to come back and talk. We need to try to get together once a month and have these talks, man, because people need to understand, like, it ain't that easy. It ain't a game.
My money's still on Delta because they're Delta. You're not fucking with that. However,
but Delta trained the Zetas. They trained the Zetas though, and the Zetas went out and trained everybody else. So it's not like, I mean, you're going up against a real enemy.
Because they have machine guns, they have tacticals, they have RPGs, they have everything that an army has. Plus, our government is so compromised that you really think that they ain't gonna know you coming?
Exactly. There's only one way to do that, and that would have to be Delta, and it'll have to be off the books in order for them to know that Delta ain't coming.
Yeah, exactly. You really think they're not gonna know you coming? Our government is so compromised. They're gonna know.
Yeah, because it comes down to the pencil pushers and the paper movers. They're gonna be out there like, bro, you got some, you know what I mean? El Jefe is coming over here giving you, $15,000 in an envelope to just copy some of this stuff and give it to them. Like, there's a lot of people gonna take that money, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna take that money. And brother Dino, you're right about that, man. Like, the side gets over to Moscow, and all of a sudden he ain't feeling good, bro. He need to check. He's probably glowing in the dark, man. Putin's gonna take care of that. He's probably glowing in the dark, bro. You know what I mean? Eating that plutonium filled mashed potatoes.
Right. But the North Koreans love it because they ain't had nothing that good.
Right. They asking for seconds. They could get some more of this. They brag. Hey, look, it makes you glow in the dark. Does it? I want some.
People would ask these questions and like try to debate me on it. I'm like, no, you haven't put any thought into it.
Like, for real.
Like really, when they get out of there and really see how the rest of the world is, like internet for one. Again, that's what they have: food, power grids. Okay, that don't go out at 9 o'clock at night.
Right. Weapons that work.
Thank you. Weapons that work. It's just
Can you imagine a North Korean soldier picking up an AK-47 or picking up an AR, and it's like, what? It works every time.
Exactly. It's just like, I mean, you don't understand that, like, the mental portion of that whole army is their biggest weakness. Because the second they set foot out of North Korea, it's over.
And they ain't gonna want to
come back. So many people, they're not gonna want to come back. So many people are not gonna want to come back.
That's the problem.
All the brainwashing in the world cannot fix someone who came from there. You stick them in New York City,
bro.
Good luck getting them back.
Just like the ones who make it to South Korea. And they watch old American video of what like a Spectre gunship, the AC-130 can do. I was watching 2 North Korean guys who escaped to the South, and they was just saying, we're gonna show you these videos, and they're looking at, American military, might or whatever, and the videos were like 10, 15 years old. And one of the guys was like, I think Americans can fight aliens. Because he's looking at this stuff. He's like, I think Americans can fight aliens.
They're not aware of this stuff, man. I mean, you can't. No.
Can't do it. So our last question for the night. Cody wants to know, man, what are your thoughts? And I want to know too, man, what are your thoughts on what happened in Korea with the martial law thing? What do you think that was?
All thing I heard was they went into martial law. Why did they go to martial? I'm not clear on why. I'm not clear on why would they enact martial law.
So what I think was a power grab. I think that their president, for whatever reason, believed he used some obscure law that they had, and he said that the North was, about to attack, is imminent or whatever. It's always imminent. That's the DMZ. That's how it works. And this all happened overnight, and he was trying to lock out the legislative body so they couldn't do anything. And when the South Koreans figured out what was going on, they just took their country back. I think it was a president who was trying to run a play, and he thought the South Koreans were like Americans. Like, you can make Americans do stuff like that, tell you to stay in the house, and most Americans are going to do what they're told. He tried that out there, and the South Koreans came out like, nah, we ain't doing that.
We're not going to blame them jokers up there.
And then like they fought in the police and military, like they were told another story, and they're like, we're not going to fight off the civilians. They had Korean special forces out there, not the regular riot police guys. I don't know if you were stationed in South Korea, but I was there.
Mhm.
Yeah, they have riot police. They're always standing by, ready to go. And that they were like paramilitary. They were like super cops, but they weren't like ROK Marines or ROK Army or anything like that. When this president made this move, he had Korean special forces out there, geared up, ready to go. And I ain't talking about plastic bullets neither. They was ready to go. And he made a play. I think he tried to take the country, and it didn't work. And then all of the elected officials got into their, their equivalent to Senate or whatever, Congress, and refused to leave until it was all sorted. And those people stayed there for like 2 or 3 days, from what I understand. So,
yeah, that whole, what do you call that? What I think of that? I think it's, well, if he's not in power anymore, good on him. I'm not a fan of dictators. That whole dictatorship thing don't work no more. You can't give people freedom for generations and then try to take it back. That ain't gonna work.
like, bro, they're still out here censoring Cody, man. Cody, I don't know why they come after you like that, bro. You might have smashed one of these YouTube girls, bro, and didn't know it. You must have did something to a YouTube chick, and she's just wreaking havoc on you, man. Maybe he put stuff in the comment and it just get deleted. But I'll show it on the screen. It is what it is.
Oh, he tried to stop his wife from going to court on corruption charges. So he enacted martial law for that? That sounds like overkill.
He made a play. He went 100 with it. Like, if you're gonna crash out, crash out. You know what I mean? Hey,
I guess so.
if you gonna crash out, bro. Ain't no such thing as just crashing out a little bit, man. We going all in. Banzai. You just go for it, bro. So that's crazy. And I never really followed it, other than when I knew it was resolved. I just stopped following it. I didn't really get into the details. And brother Dino, he's talking about the Ukrainians chasing, the North Koreans with drones. Yeah, it's like they were chasing the Russians with drones. That is one conflict, bro. I'm here to tell you, I'm glad I'm an old man. I never want to be on the battlefield with, first person views drones or whatever. That's scary. They're flying around mortar shells and grenades and chasing you with it. That is worse than a nightmare, bro. You ain't getting away from that. Is there a countermeasure out? I know there are countermeasures. Is there anything we could talk about as far as American countermeasures when it comes to drones?
Yeah, we finally now have actual EMP weapons. That's what we use for them, and nukes.
Okay.
So we actually have cannons that fire an EMP, directed EMP. They're brand new, but they're brand new, but they work. They're spot on. No fallout, nothing. It's clean. It's completely clean energy.
So we have to clear out our assets and then fire on, I guess, a certain sector with the EMP to knock out, because it would knock out our stuff too, right? If we had drones in that area, the EMP would knock out everything. Okay.
Yeah, it's an EMP. You know what I'm saying? So, but the thing is, like, if our drones are in there, that wouldn't we just shoot that shit down with ours?
Bro, when I got deployed to Desert Storm, and they had to sit us down and explain to us that we had anti-missile missiles, that blew my mind. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that should be easy, getting a drone to go after another drone, get program that. But I'm like, hold on, Sergeant. Did you just say we have missiles that shoot down missiles? Like, yeah, it's called the Patriot system. Pay attention there, was a private. Pay attention, private. I'm like, oh, trying to. That just, it's like saying you got bullets to shoot down bullets, and they're like, shh.
Right, something crazy like that. There's that. We I know the Navy has rail guns. They got lasers. So
is the rail the one that shoots that dart? Which one is that? The rail gun that shoots that?
Yeah, it shoots a dart, and they use magnetism. So it's just, I tell people, look, the only thing that's going to beat us is us. That's it. The only people who can beat America is America, and
I've been screaming that for a long time. Yeah, people are like, man, because we don't. The stuff that me and Mandela are talking about is the stuff that basically we're allowed to talk about. Just think of the stuff that's not being talked about that you don't know. I don't. There's no one that can stop the United States military. There's no nation on earth that can stand up to America. Even if every nation on planet tried it at the same time, I think America can defeat the whole planet.
Not in a hit-up fight, you can't. Because people are going to be looking for conventional war. That's not how we're going to fight. You're not gonna fight in a conventional way anymore. You know, you got 82nd Airborne, 101st Airborne. You got mechanized infantry. All that's going to be a distraction. It'll be a fight, yes, and a war, yes. But then you got, again, you know about us now: SEALs, Berets. You got Delta Force. You got a unit in the Army that don't nobody know about.
Right. Above them.
That's different from Delta Force. No one knows about this secret unit. Okay, no one knows about it. But so I mean, like you just okay.
Yeah.
You think they can tell? You think they can? No. And America's too big. How are you gonna invade?
You can't. Well, you can invade, but you can't hold nothing. How you gonna get? How you get?
Everybody owns a gun.
Yeah. Everybody. Yes. There are more. I tell people all the time. There are more weapons in America. There are more. I tell people this all the time. Like there are more guns than people. And they're like, well, people start stating the numbers, and they'll say there are, this many. This is the number of guns that they are. Okay, those are the ones that people know about. There are ghost weapons out there. There's people out there making weapons out there.
Listen,
they got guns in prison, bro. So 3D gun. The CEO shooter, he 3D printed that weapon.
I can tell you, look, I know someone who does that.
Is that, bro?
You know what I'm saying? So
I don't FBI. Hey, ATF, I don't know nobody that does that. Don't come over here. All right. Like, he said that.
Listen, the thing is, you probably do know somebody who does that.
No, I don't.
Know they're doing it.
No, I don't.
I don't either.
There you go.
Listen, it's just stuff like that ain't even hard to do.
It's not hard to do. And brother, Dino makes a good point. He's like, the Russians have modified their drones. They're using fly-by-wire within 7 clicks, which that's one way to defeat it. So even if you use an EMP, they got fly-by-wire. But here's the thing. If you're dealing with the U.S. soldiers manning U.S. weapon systems, that fly-by-wire shit ain't going to help you.
It ain't. Because once we deploy something, we've thought about that. Because before we actually deploy a weapon and put it in service, not only have we thought about how does this work, does it do what we need it to do, but okay, how do I defeat this? What are the countermeasures? Like, how would I defeat this?
Yep.
And especially we talking about private sector stuff. Private sector thinks that way, because private sector are people like myself who get out the Army, and people like DL. We get out the Army and we get in the Army. We see the things we like and love, but then we see the stuff we don't like and the things that are just fucking retarded. And we get out the Army and we try to fix that.
Yep.
And that's what these eggheads and these brainiacs, they get out there and they do it. They get government grants and contracts and stuff like that. They develop weapons and defense systems. Like, look at Blackwater.
Yep.
It was a special operations, company.
And before that, look at World War II with Lockheed. Who was that? Skunk Works.
Yeah. Lockheed
They were
Martin
making all
does
kind of stuff. Yep.
Yeah, Lockheed Martin does it. You know what I'm saying? Boeing does it. It's just, people get in the military, they see what they don't like, they get out and they try to fix it. And good on them. We need that. And
you can make some coin while trying to do it. This is Shaw's in the building. What's good, fam? Yo, Shaw, been watching the videos you've been clipping up, man. Good stuff, bro. Good stuff, man. Shaw's been talking about some real good shit, bro. Good stuff. So appreciate you popping in, bro. And he likes the conversation.
My thing is just with this whole thing is just I want to see more because again, for me, it doesn't pass the smell test. Yep. It does not pass the smell test in any way. It doesn't, because I think Cody sent me a message earlier on Instagram today. And that's another reason why I came up, just to let to tell Cody too. Yeah, for me, it smells like BS too. This doesn't pass the smell test for me. It does. There's too much wrong with it. Nothing connects.
Yeah, right from the beginning. Nothing makes sense.
Right, nothing makes sense. You're telling me that 1 + 4 = 853.
I mean, if this guy was an E3 attached to some EOD unit, he just got an AIT. Okay, all right, I'll look at something like that. Like, okay, maybe. You know what I mean? Here's some little kid that don't know nothing, fresh out of high school, gets through AIT. He's an E3 in the United States Army. He's been trained by EOD a little bit, and then his world gets turned upside down because of his girlfriend, and he wants to go do something stupid. Okay, maybe, but a tip of the spear operator, dude with experience in the field, 19 years.
19 years.
Come on, man. And here's where they messed up, bro. They if this is a setup, they put a Desert Eagle next to him. How many Green Berets use Desert Eagles, bro?
None. You're gonna give me this 9. Look, I'll take that 9mm all day.
All day.
All day. I'll take that. It's dumb to run a 50 cal Desert Eagle in your kit. Why?
Just the weight alone, the cost of the bullet. And then they said he did himself, right? So you know how big and heavy that thing is. They said he did himself, and the weapon was found on the floor at his feet in the vehicle after the fire and everything. They said it was on the floor.
Oh, okay.
But even if it were on his lap, I mean, that's what they were reporting on the thing I was just watching. Well, no, I watched this on Speak the Truth. There was, the sheriff, I think it was the sheriff in Vegas, was reporting that it was found on the floor. Maybe he misspoke. But here's the thing. You're right-handed, you're sitting in the vehicle, you're sitting behind the wheel. I'm assuming he was behind the wheel. You do yourself with that weapon, right? You delete yourself. With a limp wrist, right? That thing is flying across the vehicle, right?
And straight through that window. So where's the cartridge?
That's another thing. Well, they burned up with everything else. Really?
The cartridge flew out the window.
And they say one of the windows were open. I don't know which one. I don't know if it was the passenger side or the driver's side, but they said one of the windows were open. So there's definitely some effery afoot. I've been trying to clean it up over here. It's like, it's a new year. I'm gonna try to keep my words right.
Just like with the Maggiani,
some effery.
Man. People like, so this is a professional assessment? No, nothing professional about that.
Nothing at all.
Nothing professional about that. No. But
bro, you don't even have to be. Oh, go ahead.
The interesting part about that is people ain't even dissecting it. He's from the ruling class.
He's from the 1%.
He's from the 1%.
Upset over a fusion. He had some sort of fusion operation. He was upset about the discomfort.
My thing is, he's a kid, one of those kids stands to inherit the line of success, the line of power, right? He's from the powerful class, the ruling class. So he did something, but he took the action of someone who isn't in that chain of power. He grew up in the chain of power. So he took the action of someone who isn't in that whole thing. So he's rebelling against this very system that he stands to inherit.
Right.
Along with those kids who are doing that whole Gaza protest at the Ivy League schools. So my thing is, I'm looking at it now. I'm like, okay, the 1% might be in trouble here in another 30 years or so.
It might not take that long, bro.
Right, because these kids with this TikTok and this whole social media stuff, these rich kids who once upon a time didn't have access to other people's points of view now do. And so they see the corruption in the system. The problem is they haven't figured out how to change it.
They don't know. All they gotta do is sit back and wait to change it. But by that time, they're not the same kid anymore. They're up to 100% bought in. It's like Brother Shaw said, only America can defeat America. And this is why China engineered TikTok the way that they did to keep Americans dumb and pacified. We got Brother Pablo in the building. What's good, fam? Yeah, we were talking about what happened in Vegas. Tomorrow we're gonna talk about what happened in New Orleans. And then like Brother Dino was saying with the Tesla sheet and then the bulletproof glass or whatever. Again, there's reports that the window was down. And here's the thing: you're absolutely right in what you're saying with containing the explosion. This Green Beret, with his level of experience and expertise, knew that. I knew it, and I ain't got but a fraction.
Because one of the first things I told you, right? He did an explosion all the way wrong.
All the way wrong. Just like me and Mandrell was saying, just the stuff that he had. There was plenty of stuff in his utility closet that would have done way more damage than some fireworks.
Yeah, and you'd have done it like you'd have had that shit like in the bed, not in the bed, but in the cab, and open the door. Right, in the cab and open the door, and then set it off. Like, I mean, or at least that, because you want to direct the explosion towards a direction. other than just up, because if it's just going up, okay.
What's the point? And this man not would have known it. This man knew it, trained on it. So there's definitely something going on. We'll figure out what it is. We're gonna wrap this up, man. I appreciate you, man, Joe, coming up here, brother. You know, I'm always so grateful, man, when you bless me with your presence, man. I know I haven't been seeing you out here in these trenches. I haven't been in these panels. I kind of got tired of it last year.
A lot of it. Me too, man.
I got tired of it, bro. But anything you want to leave with them? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, don't believe the hype. I don't, because this, like I said, it don't. Cody is king, brother. It don't pass the smell test with me. It doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah. Maybe the guy in New Orleans, there's something up with him too. I don't know what it is, but I know that we have thousands of members of Al-Qaeda and ISIS here in this country right now. So maybe they got to him. I don't know. But there's more to it than just this. These people didn't just flip because they believe in Allah, right? And suicide bombing. That's not what this is. Not Green Berets.
Right.
If that's the case, what was SEER School for?
Exactly. And it's stuff that he saw with his own eyes. Like, there's stuff out there that man Joe's not talking about. We don't need to talk about. But when you're in country, that's a completely different culture over there, bro. And what they do to little boys, what they do to kids, but in particular, what they do to little boys. No one raised the way we were raised are going to want to align ourselves with them dudes.
Nope.
Like, just so y'all know.
Because when you get over there and you see that culture, you're like, this shit is unfixable.
Yeah. You ain't fixing that.
It is so jacked up. Like, I don't see how you fix that. And I've spent years thinking of this. How would I fix that? You can't. It's that in Afghanistan, that culture is that jacked up. So like, there's no way we're gonna adopt that. No. Nope.
Only way to change is to Americanize them, bro, and that's a problem in and of itself. Which is worse? I don't know which problem, I don't know which problem I want to deal with, but I'm here to tell you, man. And I was the same way. I appreciate y'all rocking out with me, and brother Mandrell here. Again, tomorrow we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna do a special show tomorrow. We're gonna talk about what I think is going on in New Orleans. I don't know if you knew this, man, but it's been widely reported that the guy in New Orleans is going through his second divorce, was losing his house. They say he was around $27,000 behind in his mortgage. Tried to get a business off the ground, failed, probably failed a few times. I think this whole ISIS thing was just, it's been reported that he allegedly tried, initially he wanted to get his family together and delete them. That's what he wanted to do.
Yeah, I heard that too. It was going to be a bad day either way, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was going to be a bad day.
Sorry to put it that way, but
it was going to be a bad first.
It is out here, but it is what it is, people. Come on.
For real. It is what it is, man. So with that, we're going to wrap this up, guys. I appreciate y'all rocking out with us, man. This is always fun. This is Mandrell, my favorite Green Beret snake eater right here, man. I'm DL Saint. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.